Well, good morning, everybody. I believe it's Tuesday. It is, I don't have the date on my watch anymore. The 23rd of March, maybe? Something like that. Excuse me. Uh, and we're starting here in the annex with our mom cat Port and her 8 little boys, 8 orange male kittens. And I've been sitting here after taking most of the weights this morning, waiting to take Antwerp's weight because Antwerp is this third one from the left who's still nursing. And I'm also just gently trying to keep everybody else from muscling in on his territory. I think he's just falling asleep. So yeah, now he's done. So, all right. Well, that was good though. He had a good long nursing just before we started filming. And we're going to weigh him together. I weighed everybody else, and they're all in the range that I think is good. But I was holding off on Antwerp until he'd had all that he could eat, which he has, and now I think he's still nursing in his sleep or making sleep nursing motions. Um, so I gave him some tube feedings yesterday. I gave Hal some tube feedings yesterday as well. Hal over here, and those again, all of that is more out of just it's more like a because we can than anything else. Their weight gains have been the minimum. Like I said, we like zero point 0.2 ounces a day at the minimum, and those guys have been keeping up the minimum. So technically speaking, by our own rules, we didn't have to do anything. But I thought since we could do something, why not give them a little extra food? Plus, I'd be amazed if our mom here can keep up with all 8 boys for much longer anyway. So we might as well be ready to keep going on that. The first thing we're going to do is weigh Antwerp, and the number to beat, I was just looking at it, I think it's 5.2 that Antwerp was at yesterday morning. Although I can forget things so quickly, I could be wrong on that, but I just want to compare to the number from yesterday morning of 5.2 and see if we're going to beat it. That's not Antwerp at all. That's Dover. Might as well look at Dover for a second, though. That's Antwerp there. That was the third from the left. Like I said, I picked up the second from the left. So there's Antwerp, but we'll get to him in just a second. Dover was the one yesterday that we looked at that had the eyes just starting to open. And since I know you want an update, it's in this basically the same spot. I think if you did a side-by-side comparison, you would think they were a tiny bit more open today. But they're basically just the same as they were yesterday, which I didn't expect. I thought they'd be a little further along. On the other hand, here we have Puget, and Puget is the one from the thumbnail of the video today who has one eye all the way open. Look at that. Just open the whole eye. The other one not open at all yet. This happens too. Not unusual to get one and not the other. Hi, Puget. So this is Puget, our one-eyed kitten. And he right now is a one-eyed kitten in a world of blind kittens, so he is definitely king for a day. I don't think it's going to last much longer than a day. Okay, now let's get back to weighing our Antwerp before the scale decides to turn itself off. Fingers crossed we beat 5.2. Oh, yeah. Once again, pulling in with what I would call the bare minimum, but still, that's pretty good. And we might let him go for a little while and see if we have to keep tubing him or not. We'll see. I'm not going to tube him this morning at least, but 5.4 is not bad. I'm going to pick him up and just get a second opinion too. There we go. So that's our little Antwerp. Solid 5.4. We like that. Not bad. Also, you're going to see little bits of black food coloring everywhere. Oh, Antwerp, look at you. You got a little something to look at today, too, with a blink. How about that? So, Antwerp, catching up there on the eye department at least. Way behind in the weight department, but he'll get there. Get back in there and nurse some more, if your mom will sit down anyway. Why don't you sit down and give Auntie a chance, Mom? She just purrs constantly. I don't think she knows how to do anything else. Such a sweet mom. Can we see your pretty eyes? Not really. They're kind of in the shade right now. She has the lightest, like pale green eyes, but I should say yellow green. hard to tell in that light when she's sitting right there. So I also love her ear tufts. Look at those tufted ears. I think I've said this before. I don't remember ever seeing tufted ears on an orange tabby before. It's very cool. I guess the genetics of that work independently from color and everything else, but probably are not, that gene hasn't commonly hit the orange pool. I don't know. Somebody who knows about cat genetics could probably tell me all about how your ear tufts work. But I love it. I think it's very cool looking, especially when they're really long like that. It makes them look kind of exotic, like a ocelot or something. I don't know what I'm thinking of. Do ocelots have ear tufts? I don't know which wild cat I'm thinking of. Okay, we'll go with lynx. That's fine with me. Okay, everybody's on the lynx. Okay. I have only had one cup of coffee this morning, so that's my excuse. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Well, let's see if we can help make sure that Aunt and Hal at least have access to something while she's laying here. Get her to spread out a little bit. Here's a trick for people that have nursing mom cats is a lot of times if you scratch their tummy, they will roll, there we go, just like that. Roll on their back a little more to expose more nipples. I think it sort of stimulates them the same way that a whole bunch of kittens looking for nipples would. They get feel all that, scratching around, and they're like, oh, I gotta give a little more room to the kids. So that's a trick I use pretty often. Now, if only I had a trick to find Antwerp on demand. Demand twerp. No, that didn't work. I tried. Yeah, he must be back here in the pile somewhere. This isn't him, is it? Is it? No, that's Puget. Sorry, I'm looking at the eye. Yes, that's Puget again. Hi, Puget. You got your eye way open. Antwerp must have gone back in the pile somewhere. That's not you. Oh, this is you. This is you all the way back here at the back. You're all curled up and napping. Maybe you've had enough, but I just want you to see the milk bars open again. Let's see if we can get you in there for a minute, okay? Should at least have the chance. There you go. So if you haven't tuned in and seen these kittens before, the little black spots are food coloring that we're using so we can tell one kitten from the next. They each have their spot in a different place, and that's how we can tell who is who. And we've got a cheat sheet right here. So that just labels Halifax spot is on the head, Dover spot is on the back, Rio's on the belly, Puget is the left front. It's actually on the shoulder. We just put the words by the feet to make it a little easier. And that cheat sheet is somewhere on our Twitter, though you might have to go way back to find it. And I keep promising any day now I'm going to put up a blog post that has these kittens on it that also includes the cheat sheet for everybody, and I will get there. Also, I heard from Lisa, we've had a few people now write in to tell us that the cheat sheet that DJ publishes that has pictures of the kittens on it is wrong, and that at least one or two of the kittens are misnamed on that cheat sheet. And that's correct. It's technically correct, the best kind of correct, because it looks like the software that she uses has a tendency to flip around all the images and shuffle them when you move one. And I'm sure that's what happened is she moved one and then the rest shuffled, and they look so much alike that she couldn't notice that had happened. But some sharp-eyed viewers have definitely noticed that it happened. And yeah, it did happen. I know off the top of my head, I know Halifax has switched with somebody else on that sheet, but it's just their pictures. The names are all right. The markings are all right. You don't have to worry about getting confused about which kitten is which, unless you are one of the 3 people in the universe that can tell these kittens apart by their faces, in which case don't go by the faces on that sheet. you would be wrong. But if you're one of those people, you know that it's wrong. You're one of the people that wrote in to tell us it's not right. I just wanted to say that, yes, you are correct. I'll give you some validation there. Vincent, I think that the best kind of correct quote is from Futurama, I want to say. So anyway, yeah, when DJ was making that sheet, in fact, I said to her, "Hey, why don't we just give you one picture, and you can just put that picture for all 8 kittens, because nobody's going to know the difference." Which we almost did actually, as kind of a joke, but then decided not to do. And then we probably should have in the end, because then we at least would have had a good joke, and not a whole bunch of people who were like, "You got your kittens wrong." But we did. So there you have it. Yeah, I'll be excited to see also who was that silver falling star. I'll be interested to see if the kittens have ear tufts when they grow up too. I know that when we first started doing close-ups with them, some people noticed what looked like little junior ear tufts on some of them. And as I was just saying, they're impossible to tell apart, so I don't know who to look for to see if we have any junior ear tufts. Who is this? This must be Puget again. No, it's not. I thought I saw an eye. Who are you? I didn't see an eye. I just saw a shadow, I guess. But let's answer the question of who you are. Where's that mark? There it is. The mark is on the back left, which makes it Sydney. The back left makes it Sydney. Sydney's one of the really big ones. I should have known just by weight. Look at this dreamy, twitchy ear. Oh, oh, keep doing it. He was just wiggling his ear a second ago, and I think I missed it. Sorry. See if he does it again. So cute. This one is front left, which makes it Rotterdam. There it is. Look, look, look. Oh, little ear wiggle. That was a little one. A little more. Maybe Rotterdam has some of those ear tufts we're looking for. Can we get in here close enough to see without waking him up? Hard to tell, especially for me from this angle. Can't tell. Very cute though. Wait, that can't be Rotterdam, because this is Rotterdam. It's Dover. The way he was laying, his skin was stretched so that the back black dot looked like it was on the side. But no, it's not on the side, it's in the middle. That makes it Dover. This is Rotterdam right here. Wow. See, even with the markings, it's not easy, is it? We're doing what we can, though. Look at that little face. Oh, it's so tiny. Those could be some ear tufts. Whoops. Got an interloper. It's hard to say at this age. You know, the thing is, at this age, you can't even tell if they're going to be long-haired or short-haired yet. You don't know anything. You really got to wait for those kind of determinations. But it can be fun to try to guess, can't it? I think it can be fun. Fleur, we did have an all black litter, well, almost all black litter a few years ago, but they, at the last minute, the very last kitten born, I think, was gray. But that was fun. Yeah, we had to put collars on them a lot earlier than we would these days. You know, our policies have changed a little bit over time. Yeah, it was velvet, exactly. And there's some real funny pictures of kittens that are kind of like have their feet all the way through their collars and stuff, which is basically the reason that we don't do it anymore. We realized it just doesn't work out for kittens that are small. But they're cute pictures nonetheless. Very cute. I love the one of them is wearing their collar like a sash. I can't remember which one it is now. Really cute photo somewhere. Uh, Yeah, if we ran into the all black kittens though, the black food coloring clearly not going to work for that. I guess we'd have to do shaving or some other way of doing it. would figure it out, of course, but fun problem to have. Little black kittens are so cute. Orange kittens are so cute. I don't know. They're all cute. Well, I think we should leave these kids here to do what they're doing. Oh, by the way, I know everybody, not everybody, but several people have mentioned the fact that it seems like the box camera that's been on in this box is oversaturated. I've actually dropped the saturation on that camera by like 20%, a huge amount. And it's not that it's oversaturated, actually. I think that's an illusion. It's really that it's just totally confused on the white balance. Or maybe it's got weird software that does get confused on the saturation and white balance when it's weird. But because we've got the orange kittens with the contrast, the perfect contrast blue teal color background, like this is the ideal sort of contrast between kittens and what do you call those colors that are opposite each other? It doesn't matter. My point is that is definitely confusing that camera. So when we put in a new background, I think that they will start to look a little more natural and a little bit less like I don't know, Cheetos, like they've come right out of a bag of some sort of American snack food. So we'll get there. In the meantime, they do look awfully red on that camera. And I don't think there's too much I can do about it without just changing the bedding, which we will do today regardless. We will change the bedding today. I was putting it off a little though because I've been talking to you guys about how I got some new boxes that I was supposed to pick up at Best Buy, not Best Buy, Home Depot, the other one. And they sent me an email saying they were ready yesterday. Didn't make it over there, so I want to do that this morning. And I want to switch the box at the same time that we switch the blankets. Go with that plan, but that might make it a few hours from now at least. Hey, before we run out of time, we're about 20 minutes in now. I want to try to go downstairs with you guys and show you something that is super fun about Flower and her kids. So let me just do this. I can't, I'm just going to have to guess where this camera is so every time I leave the room, I put the scale and the camera here so that this camera can point in and get a really nice, perfect view of them. And then I have to move it again afterwards. And I've thought a little bit about how to make it like a permanent or semi-permanent setup that doesn't involve the scale, but I haven't figured it out. So it's not important either. It's not a big deal to have to put it there every time. But usually I get to check to see if I put it in exactly the right spot. And this time I can't because I'm using the phone to talk to you guys. So let's head out. I don't think I really need to use the hand sanitizer on the way out. I use it on the way in, but because I'm more concerned about bringing anything into those kittens than taking anything out from them. I'm going to use it anyway, just to be a little proper. So here's the fun thing that I'm going to show you. It is that Flower now has full faculty permission, I guess is what we'll call it. She is getting along well enough for me to just open the doors and let her and her kittens come out and run around. Also, she's really sweet. The minute that I come in, you can see she wants to see me. And she probably wants to see what's out the doors. So let's open them up together. Here we go. So just to describe how Flower has behaved, the other day, I was telling you, you might have noticed the other day I had her harness on her. And the reason the harness was on is that gives me a chance to control her when she's meeting the faculty. And I leave it on for a while first so she can get used to the harness. I don't want to put the harness on and then immediately have her meet the faculty as soon as she's got the harness on, because then she's dealing with something that's already really weird. And then you throw in the faculty, and that's just bound to cause trouble. So she had the she had the harness on for several hours before I opened the doors to let her out to meet the faculty. So that's why you may have seen that, her with the harness on for quite a while in the room before she even got to go out. Then I got out a leash and I brought her out here and I carefully controlled her with the leash to make sure she wouldn't run up at anybody. But I was starting to get the impression that she could come out and be fine without the harness. I got the impression that she would growl, and as long as nobody snuck up on her, and as long as everybody paid attention to her when she growled and backed off like she wants, she would be fine. And it turns out that seems to be correct, because she ran out the door, and I just let her go to see what would happen. I know I was taking a little bit of a risk. And that's exactly the way it works. Is as long as I'm not going to let her out unsupervised. She definitely hasn't earned that yet, the unsupervised visit to the faculty. But as long as I'm supervising, she can come out without any other constraints. And I just have to make sure, like I said, that nobody sneaks up on her and that she doesn't sneak up on anybody else for that matter. And then as long as nobody's going to surprise anyone else, we should be okay. Also, if she starts growling, I need to make sure whoever she's growling at pays attention and doesn't just ignore her and go up to her anyway, because then that could start a fight. So again, I have to supervise to make sure that everything goes according to plan. But as long as I'm doing that so far, everything is going according to plan. She turns out to be actually, I would say, pretty good with the faculty. I call that a good interaction. We've had plenty of mom-cat interactions that would not be anywhere near that good. It also gives me hope that if somebody had a lot of time, they might be able to get her to actually be friends with another cat. Here goes Maggie, see? And she notices, she's keeping an eye on Maggie, but she's not going to do anything about it. And that's a pretty good interaction. And then, like I said, if Maggie decided to come over here, she would start growling until Maggie decided to go do something else. And that's fine too. Setting those boundaries is much better than getting into an actual fight. So she's very good about that. So I'm very, very happy about Flower. Plus, like I've mentioned, I think I went into a lot of too much detail about it yesterday. Flower is just a supreme snuggler. Where Port, I need to work on a little bit. Port loves to be petted and scritched and all that stuff, of course, so much, but doesn't love to be picked up and snuggled the same way that our little Flower here does. She just loves to be picked up and snuggled. There's a bird outside. I don't know if you could hear it, but Flower is certainly hearing it. Where is it? Speaking of things that Flower hears and reacts to, did I tell you guys? I think I did tell you that when we were in the bedroom with her, we had the Kitten Academy stream on, and Port's kittens were making all their little squeaky noises, and every time that they would make their squeaky noises, Flower would run to the speaker and start looking like there were kittens in the speaker. It's like in Zoolander or whatever, the files are in the computer. She thought there might be kittens in that speaker, and she wanted to try to get them out. So we had to turn off the sound up there to give her a chance to relax a little bit. But she's definitely a mom that way. Now, we've got Maggie up in the tree, and all the kittens are assaulting it. Yeah, Flower has been outside. I opened the cat door, and they all went out except Millet. Millet was a little scared of the cold air. But today it's going to be really warm out for us in the mid-60s, so we might get a chance to repeat that and even get Millet to go out because the air won't be quite so cold. But everybody except Millet went out, but they don't know how to work the cat door, so I have to prop it open for them as I do sometimes. Also, you might have noticed yesterday, the three of these boys got new collars, and Corn here got a darker blue collar, which I think looks very handsome on him. And Millet and Rye just got the same color, but a little newer. So you'll notice that those collars are looking very fresh. Potato didn't get one because his collar has two different colors woven in it, and I don't know if something about that manufacturing process means it doesn't get torn up quite as quickly. Whoops. He wants to play instead of have me show off his collar. So this one doesn't get torn up quite as badly, so he didn't need a new one quite yet. Okay, there we go. I think they're kind of trying to play with Maggie and find her. They know she's up the tree. They don't really know what they're doing yet. I saw someone ask what happened to the big cat tree that is missing from right here. We reorganized a little bit in the sunroom, so that's where it is now. We got rid of that gray lounger that has been there since we moved in, and that has been a target for Loganberry just a few too many times. I got tired of trying to get all the pee smell off of it and decided it was just a lost cause finally. Really, I kept putting it off too long. So when we got rid of that, we wanted a little something to fill the space, and I thought it would be really fun to take one of the big cat trees and put it over by the bird feeder that everybody likes to look at there and make the bird feeder a little more fun. So that's exactly what we did. Oh, This is Rye. You see him looking up at Maggie. They're definitely playing a little game now. He's figured out how to get to her. Oh, that noise is potato? Is that potato? No, that's corn. That's potato. And millet. And their mom. Here she comes. Oh, she wants to go outside. She just doesn't know how to make it work on her own. Oh, it's open just a tiny crack, though, probably from somebody going out, and it didn't close all the way. Maybe that breeze will help her figure out she can press on it. I'll let her figure it out if she's going to, but I'm not going to prop it open right now. My concern is there's only one way out, and the door outside is a pain for me to get in if I need to go rescue somebody. And the concern is that she would let herself out there or go out there with her kittens, and then Maggie or Custard or Loganberry would come in behind her, and then she would get all panicky because there's only one way out, and I wouldn't want that to happen. So if we're going to prop it open for her, I think we'll have to put the faculty away first to make sure that she doesn't end up in a situation where she feels like she's overly constrained. Look at that face. She's so cute. She wants to know what all of her kids are doing. I want to know what all of her kids are doing. Yeah, okay, yeah, I didn't see the question. Millet is scheduled for a surgical consult on the 7th, and I don't think we're going to have any more news about Millet until then. But Millet's doing fine, as you can see, playing right there with Potato still. Yes, Potato. By the way, I checked the calendar. It's Thursday that these kids are all going to the vet for their checkup and second vaccine on Thursday. So there may be, we'll at least get our doctor's opinion on how Millet is progressing on Thursday, but the real fun will be on the 7th when we get the surgical consult. So that's the news for Millet. Not too much to say about it yet, really. These kids are so fun and zoomy. I love the fact that we can have Flower out, even if I have to observe. Just to be able to let these kids out and run around is so much nicer than trying to put the fence up and keep the faculty away, or having to put the faculty away completely. It's just really nice. I'm so glad to learn that she can coexist, with a couple constraints so far. But like I was saying, even those constraints could probably fall away over time. When I've been out here the last couple days hanging out with her, she just wants to come and sit next to me and just be close by. She's so sweet that way. Yes, you are. You are a big old sweetie. All these kids have really brought the house down. Look at that. Wow. Emmy, I'm glad you asked. My understanding, and I haven't had the official final confirmation from Dawes yet, but my current understanding from Dawes, the Danbury Animal Welfare Society that we work with to get the kittens adopted and to bring the mom cats in, is that they do have adopters for everybody in this class, including Flower. And I also am to understand that Flower is getting adopted with one of the kittens, but I don't know the details yet. And I also think that they're holding off on making a real determination on Millet until we find out some more information there. But the reason I'm glad that you reminded me is that I need to close off the applications today until it's time to start taking applications for the kids upstairs, which it isn't yet. Wow, that was a cool leap right through the roof. I don't know how much of that I caught on the camera, though. Anyway, yeah, so I need to close off the applications when I put up that blog post that I keep promising, and that's sure to be what is going to happen. But in the meantime, if you're listening, there's not really any point in putting in an application as such at the moment, anyway. And if you did already put it in an app between the time that I said everybody had an adopter and now, don't worry about it. We save all those. They all get sent to Dawes, and Dawes definitely uses them for future adoptions. So you know, your time wasn't wasted. These kids are just wild, just wild. And it has been 30 minutes, so what I'm going to do is we're going to end this stream. Oh, before I do, let me show you the sunroom just real quick. These kids do get over there sometimes, and they might end up spending some time there today, and we don't have any great cameras over there yet. So there you go. You can see that's the tree in the corner. The bird feeder's right outside that window. You can kind of see it a little bit. I need to fill it up. I think it's empty at the moment. And there you have it. So the sunroom just a little refreshed, not too different. Anyway, so as I was saying, the kittens might get over there. In fact, there goes Millet right now in that general direction. And unfortunately, we don't have any of the good new cameras in there. So it's either going to be completely pixelated or so zoomed out that the kittens are super tiny on your screen if they go in there and I put it on the stream. And that's the only apology I'm going to give for that fact. It's just the way things are. We can't afford to upgrade all the cameras in the house yet. We might over time, but the new cameras are not cheap. And we'll just have to do what we can. So if they all end up in the sunroom, I will put the sunroom camera on, and we'll make the best of it, I guess, is what I'm saying. Meanwhile, I know there's no cameras pointed into this room on the regular Kitten Academy live stream, but as soon as we end this close-up, I will move those cameras around so that you can see into this room at least a little bit. And keep an eye on these kittens all day long if you'd like to on the Kitten Academy live stream. I hope you do. And also the kittens upstairs are also on the Kitten Academy live stream all day long, so I hope that you get a chance to check in on them once in a while and see how they're doing, whether any of the other kittens have their eyes open. And with a little luck, I will see you tomorrow for another close-up. That would be the plan. Things don't always go according to plan, but we do. I'm making a real effort lately to do one every day. And if I have to miss a day, then I certainly won't miss two. All right. Well, hey, one last thing. Thanks to the mods for moderating the chat, and thanks to all of you for participating in the chat and for just watching the kittens. I really appreciate it. And it does help us. I've said it a million times, but it's still true. It helps us a lot just that you watch, and we greatly appreciate it. Excuse me. All right. I will talk to all of you next time.